Hey guys, hello everyone, good evening. Good evening to all. हो गया start? Yes, the session has started and we are live, guys. Hope you all are able to hear me and see me clearly. Like, just give me a heads up in the chat that am I audible and visible clearly? Hi, let's go. Yes, let's go. Feel good and I could. Good evening. That means I am audible to you all. I hope so. Just give some heads up or put a thumbs up or hi, hello, wala emoji in the chat. So, yeah, yes, unknown. So, audio is clear. Okay, ready. Are you people excited to learn DSA? Hello, hi. Yes. Sorry, guys. First of all, we are really sorry to keep you all wait. I know we are late with 4 minutes. So, yes, excited. Trophy. Oh, everything is clear. Thank you, guys. It feel good like to see you people respond in the chat. Very excited. So, guys, please make sure that you call your friends, your colleagues, or people who are interested in to start with the coding and who want to learn the DSA with Java. Good evening, Charan. Started or ending start the session has just started and I will take some time, like I will take 10 minutes of yours to explain how to mark your attendance to get the certificate and the attendance procedure also guys, how old you are, what, why you want to know, Mukul? So okay, guys. So without wasting time, let me introduce myself. So my name is Anam Khan. I'm one of the team member at Let's Upgrade, and I'm here just to explain you all about the attendance procedure. I'm not the trainer. The trainer is Sonam ma'am. So she will be there with you throughout the 3 days of the session. The session is of like this boot camp is of 3 days, and each day, sorry, 2 days. My bad. So the session has been rescheduled to 2 days, and each day it will be a 2 hour session. So yeah, we will make sure to cover all the essential things, all the essential topics in this 2 days of boot camp. So do not worry that will be able to learn at least the basics of Java DSA. Yes, you will be able to, so do not worry about that. So just let me share my screen quickly and I'll explain you the attendance part. Give me a minute, guys. So yeah, अनुनय, बी कॉन्फिडेंट वाइल डिलीवरिंग योर थॉट्स. गाइस, हर कोई हड़बड़ाता है, हर कोई गड़बड़ करता है. नो वन इज परफेक्ट इन दिस वर्ल्ड. सो is today's enough for DSA. We will make sure that you are like at least having some of the basic ideas and know what is DSA and make a simple project. Also, guys, we will create a simple project, basic project for you people so that you can also add it in your resume with along with the certificate. So do not worry. Yes, it is helpful for your semester, guys. So, guys, is my screen is visible to you all? Just let me know, please. What about certificate? I will explain you. And guys, do not spam again and again for the certificate part. Just make sure you mark your attendance daily on this 2 days of boot camp, and on day two you will get your certificate will get unlocked, and yeah, then you can download it from the one link where you mark your attendance. And no fees, no charge, nothing is there to pay or mark your attendance. So do not spam for that too. Yes, okay. Thank you, guys. So guys, here in the description box, here you can see registration, attendance, certificate, assignment. For all we have one link. We call it as a one link because for everything you just need to come to this one page and you can mark your attendance and get the certificate. Also, if you want to join our communities or channels, or also we have a special challenge going on, that is Postman API. You can click on this card and get to see like what all things you need to do for that. First of all, make sure that you are enrolling in the program and then complete the course and get your certificate downloaded. And yeah, by the end of like there is a time period to get the to get eligible, like to do the things which are there. You can go on that and see that all the things. So guys, about the DSA, here this is the attendance page, And here when you scroll down the page, here you can see day one, introduction to data structure and basic Java basics. So here it is the mark attendance toggle. It will ask you to rate between 1 and 10, and if like you can be loyal, you can give honest marking. If you have any feedback, if even if you are giving 9, please make sure that you are leaving here that what all things you need us to improve, or what like what was not good in the session. For now I will give 10 on 10, and here is the feedback option. Like if you have anything, you can put it here freely, and then mark your attendance. When you mark your attendance, here the progress bar will increase. Now it has increased to 50%, as the bootcamp is only for 2 days. So when you today will proceed till 50%, and on day 2 it will get 100% of progress bar. So when it get 100%, you will get to see the unlock certificate option right beside below this progress bar. So on day 2 you can come on this page, mark your attendance, and get the certificate downloaded. And we have this communities WhatsApp and Discord. You can join us there to get regular updates, daily reminders, upcoming events, and upcoming bootcamps notification. We put all the updates and details there. And also guys, on day 2 we will move on Zoom, as many of them knows already, who are all with us from very back. So on day 2, the link is already there in the description box for Zoom. You can join us on Zoom on day 2, and there we will have a really engageable and interactive session. So you can clear your doubts there on real time also. So yeah, this was about the attendance, the communities, and this is the refer and earn thing challenge. That is a different challenge. And here it is a ambassador program, which is a 1 month program, guys. It is also free. No fee, nothing you have to pay for this to enroll. Just apply for it. Our team will get in touch with you. And it's in this 1 month of program, you need to complete your target, and you will be eligible for certain swags and also some mega prizes. So also you get to achieve like earn rewards of at least minimum 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 also you get sometimes. And you get to meet industry leaders, attend exclusive workshops. So yeah, make sure. And it will also you can add it to your resume also, that you have completed ambassador program at Let's Upgrade and everything. So yeah, if you are interested, make sure that you're applying for this. The next batch starts from 1st of December. Only 2 days just left. So yeah, and anything, nothing now for this attendance page, but we have this all-in-one documentation. Ma'am, why I can't log in from Nepal number? Okay, for those who are facing any issue related to the login, we will send a Google form in the chat, or else we will please mail us to the support at the letsupgrade.in. Our team will reach out, get back to you and solve your issue. So do not worry about the login part. We will contact you, like we will send a Google form to you. And yeah, guys, moving forward, this is the all-in-one documentation where we have stored all the links for you. The attendance link, the program enrollment link for this program. If you haven't enrolled for the program, you won't be get to mark your attendance. So make sure that you are first enrolling for the program, and then you can mark your attendance. So this is the session link, and this is the notes that we have prepared for you. Like this is the curriculum which we will follow in this 2 days of bootcamp. You will also get to know that at what topic we are at and what we are going to learn in this 2 days of bootcamp. So you can save this link and you can use it anytime. So yeah, that and also guys, make a note. If ma'am if ma'am is willing to share any of the notes, resources, or links, we will definitely share it in the chat, the link. But for the PDF or PPT, we will upload that in this all-in-one document. So do not spam for that also in the chat. Just come to this all-in-one documentation, and get you can find your PPT or resources, anything in this one doc itself. So nothing more from my side. We will put the attendance link in the chat. Wait, now only I will put, or else you can go to the description box and mark your attendance. Yeah, anything else guys, any question, any doubt you have related to the DSA part, the ma'am will be there to clear your doubts. I am here just for the attendance and everything. So you have anything related to that, please feel free in the chat. Our moderators also are there in the chat to mod the session, and they will be clearing your doubts. Okay, okay, guys. And Sayak, please do not spam. The chat is not for spamming, but to for the students who have the genuine queries, doubts. Please let them talk in the chat. Do not spam unnecessary things. It disturbs the whole crowd. So yeah, we will call the trainer, who is Sonam Soni. Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening. Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, I'm good. How about you?
I'm also good, ma'am. So, without wasting more time and without taking your time, so I will leave and hand over the session to you.
Sure.
So, have a good time with the students, and bye bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Bye, ma'am.
Thanks, thanks. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, very good evening to everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. कैसे हो सब लोग? All good? Okay, related to the attendance part, related to the certificate part, once the session is get started, I think, guys, you are going to able to get your certificate. So please don't send the messages related to the same. I hope everything is fine. All are good. So we are going to start with the concepts of Java with the DSA. But before starting that, I'm just going to give you a small introduction of mine, and then we will proceed. So, guys, myself Sonam Soni. From the last 12 years, I am in this industry. Earlier, I was working as a developer. I was working as a trainer as well. So together, all those things I'm doing. And from last 7 to 8 years, I'm in this corporate industry. I'm taking the trainings for the freshers, laterals, different types of stacks like Java full stack, mean stack, merge stack, data structure, Python, DSA, exploratory data analysis, cloud computing, AWS, Azure. These all are my expertise, and this is something what I'm doing. And I believe to train, and I love to train. Training is my passion, and because of that, I'm here. So we are going to discuss, guys, uh, concepts of Java and the DSA. I'm going to share that notes with you, and topic wise, we are going to discuss the things. Okay, so are you ready, everyone? Okay, so great. Let me first of all share my screen, and you give me the confirmation, like, can you see the same? So we can proceed. Okay, so I think it is visible. So first of all, we are going to discuss about the concepts, and that is also I'm going to show you. Like today, we will try to complete the module 1, module 2, and module 3. These are the three modules that we are going to discuss, like introduction to Java, the basic concepts of data structures, and introduction to algorithm. These are the three things that we will complete today, and other three modules that we are going to discuss tomorrow. Okay, so I will come to that, what is array, amma, okay, and other things also we will discuss. So let's start with the basic things. First of all, when we talk about the Java, okay, so what is Java? If you are aware, you can tell me. And I'm also going to give you the idea. Java is simply, we can say that it's a programming language. Okay, when you talk about the programming language, what does it mean? The programming language, it is something that you have to compile. You cannot run the programming language code directly. So in a simple word, if I will say, whenever you are writing a program, any kind of program which you are going to write, let's say suppose I have written a program, any kind of program that I have written. Okay, so when you talk about, it's a program. Okay, let's say program, and when we are going to run this program, you cannot run the program directly because it's a programming language. So programming language में जो आप program लिखते हो, that you have to compile first. Okay, are you aware with the concept of compilation? So whenever we are talking about the Java, it's a programming language. The reason behind that is whatever you write in that particular program, first of all हमें उसे compile करना पड़ेगा. Compile करने के बाद जो output मिलेगा, that we are going to run. Compile करने पर हमें जो output मिलता है, that is simply we can say that it's a machine understandable code. Whatever the code we will write, we have to compile and that we can run it. Now when you say it's a Java programming language, so the code which you are going to write, it is something related to the English kind of language, so that is not understandable by your machine. So what you will do is, first of all you write your program, you save your program. Once you write, okay, sure, Sai, I will continue with the English, no problem. Okay, we will write a program. We will simply, we can say that, compile that program. And once the compilation done successfully, we will run. And in the program language, we can say that we will execute. Okay, so for execution and for the compilation, we need something. And that is something which is, we can say, JDK. That is called Java Development Kit, because right now we are talking about the Java programming language. So when you talk about the Java programming language, to compile your code and to run your code, you need something. Obviously, for C programming language, you need C compiler. For C++ programming language, you need CPP compiler. For that, similar to that, for Java programming language, we need Java compiler. How you will get Java compiler? So for that we have to install one software, and that is something that called JDK. That is simply, we can say that, Java Development Kit. Okay, when you download this, okay, from where you will download, so you can go to the Oracle, okay, or you can search like this, Java, or search for JDK download. This is something which you need to do. When you do this, you will be redirected to the Oracle website. And on here, see what is the latest version of Java. The latest version of Java is 23. Old versions are also there. 21 is there. Earlier versions are also available. So you can go with the 21 because it's a stable one. Always try to take one version which is a bit, we can say that, a low. Why? Because sometimes with the latest version, few things won't work. So it is better you can download JDK 21, or else you can also go with the 17 or 11. These are also the stable versions that we have. So if you want to download 21, you can click on 21. After that, what operating system you are using? If you are using Windows, then you go to the Windows and download that. If you are using Mac OS, then you have to go to the Mac OS, and from that you can download. If you are using Linux operating system, so from that you can download. For Linux, you can also try to execute some commands, and with the help of that also you can download JDK, Open JDK, Ubuntu OS. Over there also you can execute the command and you can get it, right? So here, if you want to use some old versions like 17 or 11, so you can go to that 17. Okay, if you are using Windows operating system, better I will suggest you directly download this. Can you see this? This is the .msi file. Can you see this? This is something which you can better download. Okay, okay, for run the Eclipse also, you have to download JDK in your system. Without JDK, your Eclipse also won't work there. Okay, so you have to keep it in your mind. Eclipse also required the JDK, and that should be installed in your system. So if you will not install JDK, Eclipse also won't work. I will come to the Eclipse part, but for that you have to understand the fundamentals. Okay, so what you need to do is download this .msi. Whenever you download, after that what you need to do, simple installation steps. Just double click on that, just double click, continue with next, next, next. No need to do any kind of configuration, and that is going to install in your system. Okay, in my system I have already installed the JDK 17. Okay, when you download the JDK 17, you will get something like this. Let me show you the same. Okay, let's say, okay, let me search here. Can you see? This is something which you will get. JDK 17.0.13, which I have downloaded. What you need to do is just double click on that, install the, like continue with the setup. Nothing to do with that, just continue with next, next, next. It will take some time. And then you need to click on the finish and your installation will get done. Okay, once that is done, what you need to do? Okay, you have to check the version of Java, like whether the Java is installed successfully or not. Open a simple command prompt. Okay, and in that you have to run one command. What you need to do? Just run one command. How you will run that? Java hyphen version. When you run this command, you will get the verification. Java version 17.0.18, which is installed in my system, and you can see this kind of output you will get. If you are able to get this output, means you need to understand that your JDK is successfully installed in your system. Clear? Yeah. Few system you need to set the path, but almost when you are downloading for the very first time in your system, that set path will happen automatically. It will configure the path automatically as well. Yeah. And latest JDK will do that. Earlier we have to configure the same. Okay, in case if you are getting the error like JDK, like Java is not able to find this as a command, you can't execute the Java command. If you are getting that kind of error, then what you need to do? Where actually the Java installed. So what you have to do is go to your C drive. In your C drive, you have to go to the program files. Your actual Java is installed here. See, this is the Java folder. In my case, I have installed two Java, so it is showing JDK 11 and JDK 17. Okay, so for JDK 17, you have to open 17. Okay, in this 17, you can see the bin folder. Okay, and in this bin folder, you can see there are some certain things are available. So this is the path which you have to copy in case if you are not able to run the Java command. In case, okay, so if it is running perfectly fine, then no problem. But if it is not running, you have to copy this. Once you copy this, what you need to do, go to your system property settings, and under the property setting, you will get one option. Okay, that is called advanced system settings. Okay, under the advanced system settings, you can see the option called environment variables. And under the environment variable, there is the option called path. You have to double click on this path and you can see here there is a Java JDK path is set. Can you see that? In your case, it must be not there. So what you need to do? Click on new. You will get something like this. Here you have to add your path. So when you add your path, okay, but in my case it is already there, so I'll just remove the same. Okay, once you do this, once the path is added, you just need to click on OK. When you click on OK, at last you have to configure this and your path is done. After that, again, when you open the CMD, okay, so when you open the CMD over there, happily you can see the Java version. Okay, in case Java version you are not able to get directly, you have to set this path. Okay, good to go. Yes. So I think I am supposed to start the DSA, but the thing is I have to follow the modules which is shared to me, right? So I cannot directly jump to the same. This is something you can see. I have to show you the JDK setup. I have to show the IDK setup. I have to give the basic things of Java. Then only I can start with the data structure. So I am following the module wise notes. So I cannot directly go with the DSA. Correct? So I think Avisha, you can clear with the same. Okay, this is something which I have to follow. I think you can see the module. This is already shared to you. So if you are aware with not that, you can open that and you can see the module wise syllabus which is given to you. Okay, I am following the same. Correct. So this is something which we have discussed how to set up the JDK. Now once the JDK is set up, guys, we can write a manual program and we can compile it and we can run it. This is something which you can do it manually. Okay, once the manual process is done, we can, like, every time whenever you want to do coding, हर बार हम manual coding नहीं कर सकते. So for that we have to talk about something that is called IDE. Okay, what is the meaning of IDE? That is called integrated development environment. Okay, so integrated development environment that we have to use. There are so many integrated development environment we have. अमन, हमारे पास बहुत सारे IDE अवेलेबल है, उसमें से we are going to use some one ID. Okay, I am just going to give you the name of the IDE, कौन कौन से IDEs अवेलेबल है, जैसे कि we have NetBeans, we have IntelliJ, IntelliJ IDE is there. Okay, VS Code also we can use. Okay, we have Eclipse. Most of the times in the organizations, either they are using NetBeans, either they are using IntelliJ, either they are using Eclipse. So we are going to use here, like most of the organizations. I have taken many corporate trainings. So corporate trainings में जो requirements रहती है उसमें maximum जो use होता है either IntelliJ और Eclipse. Okay, so हम जाएंगे Eclipse पे. ठीक है, बिकॉज दिस इज द वेरी पॉपुलर आईडी जो ऑलमोस्ट हर एक जगह पे उसकी डिमांड रहती है. सो वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस द सेम. सो मैंने ऑलरेडी आईडी इंस्टॉल किया हुआ है. इफ यू वांट टू डाउनलोड दैट, यू कैन सिंपली जस्ट गो टू द ब्राउजर, सर्च फॉर Eclipse डाउनलोड, लाइक Eclipse IDE डाउनलोड. सिंपल ऑप्शन है, डायरेक्ट आप ओपन करो. once you open that, you will see the option to get the download. Okay, just click on this. अगर आपका Windows OS है तो simply you can download the same. Install your favorite desktop IDE. Just click on that. Download the same. Install by just clicking on the next kind of configuration. Once it is installed successfully, you will get the desktop icon like this. Okay, so this is something which we are going to get. What you need to do, you have to open this Eclipse IDE. ओके, सबसे पहली हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट ये है कि इन आर इक्लिप्स आईडीई वी हैव टू सेट अप अ वर्क स्पेस. वर्क स्पेस का मतलब क्या? जब आप प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाओगे, एक प्रोजेक्ट, दो प्रोजेक्ट, तीन प्रोजेक्ट, यू आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट मेनी प्रोजेक्ट्स where you will store your projects. So it's a kind of, we can say that in one folder you are going to keep all your projects. Okay, so that is something which we need to set up. How to set up a workspace? So I'll just go to browse and I will search for where you want to set up your workspace. Let's say in the D drive. Okay, under the D drive I'm just going to create one folder. Let's say I want to create one new folder. So I'll create one new folder. Let's say let's upgrade. Okay, under this folder I'm just trying to set up one more folder. Let's say this is my Java FSD bootcamp. Correct? This is something which I am giving here. And this is the folder where I am going to store all my projects. Okay, we are going to store all our projects inside this folder. Okay, let's launch this. Okay, meanwhile, this is launching. If anyone is having any question related to the topics which we have discussed till this, just let me know. We can discuss the same. I will give you some questions in between as an assignments. You can try to solve that later. Okay, so can you see? Yes, 100% attendance is required, and make sure you continue with this session till the end of this, then only you will get the certificate. Okay, so that is the one thing which you need. Yes, version will be fine, any version if you have used. This is something which I have set up almost 1 or 2 years back, so maybe 2023 version I have. Okay, so this is something which you will get for the very first time, the screen. Yeah, so Abhishek, I am following the module which I have which is given to me. If I am going to do the voting and taking the analysis, and that is going to be a time consuming process. I'm having a limited hours of time, so I am trying to follow the things which is given to me. Okay, so please try to understand the same. Yes, You try to install that. So most probably it will not take much time. All the IDEs are good. Aman, NetBeans is good, IntelliJ is also good, Eclipse is also good. So you can't say this ID is good and that ID is not good. That is depends on the organization's requirement. All the IDs are providing all kinds of features. They are all providing all the requirements, plugins as well. Okay, so good to go. I request everyone, please don't ask the questions related to attendance and certificates right now because nobody is going to entertain that question. Okay, so please focus on the learning. Learning is important. Without the certificate, also you will get the job. Okay, learning is important. If you know the things, you will get the job from anywhere, anytime. So please don't try to continuously trigger on the certificate. Certificate you are going to get, but please focus on your learning because that is important thing, right? Okay, so this is something which I am going to get for the very first time. Now I am going to show you how to create a project, Java project. You can click on File, click on New. I'm going to create a simple project. No Maven, nothing like this. Just click on Other because right now it is not showing me any option for Java project. So if you are not getting any option, just search for Others. And here can you see the option is coming for Java project. So select that. Okay, click on next. Okay, let's say this is my very first project, so I'm just giving the name like first sample or first sample project, something like that you can give. Okay, once this is done, I will just scroll down a bit, and this is something which we don't require. We don't want to create any kind of module, so you just uncheck this because by default this is selected for the very first time. So if you are using the latest IDE Eclipse, then this is the option which you will get. So make sure you cancel that. Okay. And see, automatically it is selecting RJDK, which I have installed. It is choosing Java SE7, which because this is something which is configured in my local environment. In my C drive, I have configured the environment variable. This is the JDK 17. Okay. So automatically my Eclipse is detecting this. Okay, and from this, let's click on next. Okay, let's click on finish. Let's open the perspective. Okay, so this is something which you are going to get for the very first time. Okay, so project is ready, source folder is ready. Okay, now here I am going to increase the font size because by default the font size are very small. So what I'll do is I'll just go to the window, preference, general, appearance, colors and fonts. Using the ID is also art, okay, because ID is having so many features inside the same. Okay, so I'm selecting this 14. You can keep as a minimum size, so it will become more readable for your as a developer. You can reduce the font size, no problem. So this is something which I have configured here. Okay, now the very important thing is we are going to create a very first file in our Java. Okay, so for discussing this, we need to understand how we can write a code in Java. Okay, so for that, first of all, we have to create a class. When we talk about Java, okay, Java is all about class and object. The reason behind that is Java is saying, I am a object oriented programming language. Are you aware with that? Java is which type of a programming language? It's object oriented programming language. It's object oriented programming language. So when you say it's object oriented programming language, the major focus is on where you have to focus in Java, object or class. It's object oriented programming language means you have to focus on object, but from where you will create a object? It's fully object oriented programming language. Java is fully object oriented. JavaScript is not fully object oriented, but Java is pure. It's pure object oriented programming language. Okay. So when you say object, we are going to discuss about a simple object. Using class we are creating the object. But focus किस पे करेंगे? हमारा focus होना चाहिए object, not class. क्लास क्रिएट करने के लिए आप ऑब्जर्व क्या करते हो? ऑब्जेक्ट. जस्ट टेक दिस एग्जांपल. ये पेन है. कैन यू सी दिस पेन? एवरीवन. Okay. So if I want to write a code for this pen, first of all, let's observe this pen. Pen is what? It's object. Now, this object is having some features. Okay, this object is having some features. What are the features that we have under the pen? Okay, pen is having a color, right? Pen is an object. It is having a color. Can your pen can have some brand name? Okay, and can you open your pen using pen cap? Open the pen, close the pen. So this is something which we can say that functions. ओपन कर सकते हैं, क्लोज कर सकते हैं. दिस इज माय डिजिटल पेन. सो मेरे पास और भी बटन्स है यहाँ पे अवेलेबल, जिससे मैं कंटेंट को राइट भी कर सकती हूँ, कंटेंट को रिमूव भी कर सकती हूँ. सो आई एम हैविंग लेट्स से राइट एंड रिमूव. So both the options available with me. I can open the pen, I can close the pen, I can write with the pen, I can remove with the pen. Are you able to understand? So एक ही ऑब्जेक्ट से आपको कितनी चीजें मिली? आपको ऑब्जेक्ट्स के फीचर्स मिले, आपको ऑब्जेक्ट का फंक्शंस मिले. कैन यू सी दैट? सो जब भी आप कोई ऑब्जेक्ट को ऑब्जर्व करते हो, सो फ्रॉम दैट ऑब्जेक्ट यू विल ऑलवेज गेट features and you will always get functions. Correct? So whenever you want to write a code, each object, any object, see any object. If you see the mobile phone, just see the mobile phone. So from your mobile phone, how you will say that, okay, mobile phone is also having a functions. स्टार्ट का बटन है, स्टॉप का बटन है, ओपन का बटन है, क्लोज का बटन है, वॉल्यूम अप, वॉल्यूम डाउन, कैमरा कंट्रोल, ऑल द फीचर्स आई एम हैविंग. ओके, so that is something which I have. When you talk about the features, what is the brand name of your phone, what is the color of your phone, okay, what is the height of your phone, what is the width of your phone, what is the weight of your phone. So that is something which simply we can say that the features of that phone that we have. Yes, 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 Mr. Gokul. Definitely, I will continue with English. No issues. My mistake. There are some few comments I'm getting for the Hindi as well. So I'm just including in some two, three things in Hindi, but I will repeat that same sentence in English as well. Okay. Okay, so this is something which we need to understand. Any object, if you see in front of you, just try to imagine the object and find out the features and find out the functions that we have with your object. If you are able to get that, you can happily create the class for the same. Can you create the class based on these things? Yes, we can create a class based on the features. These features are going to become variables and the functions are going to become methods. Correct? And this is something maybe if you have learned in your college time, class diagram. In your college time, class diagram you must have learned, right? So if you want to create a class for a pen, you will have variables like correct. Everyone, is this clear? So, how to create variables, how to create methods. That is something now we need to discuss here. Okay, so for that, let me clear the same. Okay, we need to understand when we are talking about variables. Variables is something which we can say that it's a temporary storage. Okay, and in Java, let's say there are some memory locations that we have where you can store the data. So let's say I have stored some value here called 10. How you will identify it? So for identifying this value, you need identifier. And when you need this identifier, okay, how you will identify? With the name. Identifier is something which we can say that the name of that variable. So let's say I have given some name like A, B, C, D, num1, num2. We have to follow some rules for giving the name of the variable. Okay, and the value which you have stored, that is having a type. Let's say you can store number, you can store text, you can store some value which is either true or false. Okay, you can store some value maybe that is object, any kind of value which you can store to the variable. So what is the size? So that size you can identify with the help of data types. Okay, number can be either full number like 10, 15, 99, 100, 100,999 like that. Or sometimes the number can be a fractional number 10.99, 15.75, 100.25. So that is something which we can say that you want to store some fractional number, point wala value भी store करना है, full number भी store करना है. So for that we need a data type. सो नंबर के लिए हमारे पास अलग अलग डेटा टाइप्स है, जैसे कि इंट है, उससे छोटा है लेट्स से शॉर्ट. वी ऑल्सो हैव लॉन्ग. वी ऑल्सो हैव a smaller than short also, that is a byte. So we have a byte, short, integer, long. For point, for fraction or decimal value, we have double, we have float. For true and false, we have boolean. Okay, for objects you can store any kind of object: pen object, class object, any class object, student object, employee object, college object. Okay, product object, order object, any kind of object values which you can store. So this is something which you need to define. So these objects kind of data types we can consider as a user defined data types. वो हम create करेंगे हमारी requirement के हिसाब से. But these are something which we can say that primitive data types that we have. So in the primitive data types, we have byte. The size of byte is 1 byte. Short, which is 2 byte. We also have integer, that is of 4 byte. We have long, that is 8 byte. These all are whole numbers. Whole numbers. Okay. We have float, which is of 4 byte. And we have double, that is of 8 byte. These are decimal. Correct? Okay. Then we also have boolean. It's just 1 bit. If it is 0, means false. If it is 1, means true. Right? Okay. And then we have one, that is a character. We can store the text, that is of 2 byte. We can simply say here you can store the characters. So these are the different types of data type which we have. That is, we can say that in Java. Eight data types that we have. Eight primitive data types that we have. Using that, we can create different types of variables. Okay, so I hope guys you are able to understand creating variables with data type. So let's see if we want to create one class, a simple class in Java, how you will do that. I will just create one. Let's say new. I will create a class. Okay, I am creating a class. Let's say simple, very first class, hello. The class name is hello. Enter. Right now, I am writing a very basic code which is just going to print a simple message. Okay, in this class, I'm going to create a very first method. जब भी आप कोई we can say that आपको कोई चीज ऑन करनी है, you need a power button, right? If you want to on your phone, what you need power button. To on your phone you need a power button, right? Similar to that, if you want to on your program you need main method. So how you will write that? You can write like this: public static void main string args and brackets with the help of block. Okay, and string is not a data type. String is not a data type. Sai, it's a class in Java. Okay, it's not a primitive data type. Okay, so public static void main, this is something which we can say that it's a main method. Okay, and here if I want to print something, let's say hello world, so I will just write system dot out dot println, and here I will just print something. Let's say it's hello world. Okay, I have created a main method and I have just printed something that is system.out.println. Now this is something which you want everywhere in your code. So this is for the very first time मैंने आपको code manually लिख के बताया, but जब हम IDE use करते हैं, in IDE we have a shortcut. वो shortcut से ये code हम generate कर सकते हैं. So if you want to generate this code, what you need to do, आपको सिर्फ लिखना है main control space और यहाँ पे suggestion आएगा main method, enter that. You will get this code. For system.out.println आपको क्या लिखना है? SYSO control space, and you can see it got generated system.out.println. Okay, so this is something which I am writing here. Let's see hello world. हाउ टू रन दिस, आप डायरेक्टली यहाँ से भी रन कर सकते हो, आप यहाँ पे राइट क्लिक करके भी यहाँ से आपकी एप्लीकेशन को रन कर सकते हो. So when you run this, here you can see the output, that is hello world. Okay, so this is a very simple thing. Now inside this, if I want to create some variable, let's say one integer I am creating. So I'll say int num 10. And if I want to print this, I will just print number, that is num. Okay, if I want to declare one more variable, let's say float num2, let's say that is 70.7. F you have to use for indicating the float, and then you can print, let's say the number is num2. Save the same, try to run the same and check the output. Okay, so you can see I'm able to run, I'm able to create a very simple class, and I'm able to see the output. So this is the very basic things which we have created here. Now let's quickly jump for understanding the concept of class and object. So for creating the class and object, see right now when I have created this class, I have added everything in the default package. Because by default जब हम कोई package नहीं बनाएंगे, it is getting stored into the default package. But default package is actually not suggested. So how you will give the package name? Let's say I want to create a package. I will click on new. I will create a package. My package name is, let's say I want to say org dot let's upgrade. So first of all, org or com, something like that you can give. Let's upgrade is our organization name. And let's say this is my first project. So I will give the project name. And this is going to be my package name. So if I want to shift this, you can shift this code to this class. And automatically you can see here it's noted this is under the package org.letsupgrade.first. Okay. So this is something how you can create a package, and under that you can create a class. Okay, and now let's try to create that pen code we have discussed, right? As we have discussed, if I want to create a pen, okay, pen class. Okay, I'll just try to explain you here. Let's say I want to create a class for pen. So when you talk about the pen class, okay, so variables, how many variables you need? So we will say we need a variables like color, and let's say brand name. Okay. Second thing, methods. So let's say right now I'm just taking only two methods like write with the pen, and as it's a digital pen, I will say remove with the pen. So I want to create two methods and two variables. Two methods, two variables. Okay, so let's try to create one class. Let's create a class pen. Under the pen, I will create variables. Let's say string. String is the object. See, it's created with the capital letters. So it's a string is a class name. If you write int, float, it is written in a small letter. So these are the primitive data types, which is coming in a blue, purple color. Okay, string is not coming in purple color. So this is not a primitive data type. It's a class. Okay, string, let's say color. Okay, and string brand name. Okay, and here let's say I'm going to create two methods. Okay, I will just say public void. Let's say write. Okay, I will just print a simple message. Okay, return data. And similar to that, I will write one more method. Let's say public void remove. Let's say data removed. Okay, so data returned, data removed. This is something that we have added here. To set these values, we can take the help of the constructor. So see, if you want to generate the constructor, then also we have an option. Right click, source, generate, sorry, not getter setters, we want to generate the constructor. So right click, source, and then what you need to select here, generate the constructor, and select the fields, generate. And see what I got. I just generated the code for creating the constructor. So once this is done, let's try to create an object. So now my design is ready. Now from this layout, I can create thousands of pens. Whatever the brand's pen you want to create, you can create. So that's why we can say that this is a blueprint of a class. जिसमें से आप जितने चाहिए उतने objects बना सकते हो. So let's say I want to create some objects. So for that I am creating one more class. Let's say sample pen. Okay, and in that I will create a main method, and in that I will create an object of that pen. So how to create an object? Pen p1 is equal to new pen. I will give, let's say my pen color is red, and let's say the brand name is test. Okay, And similar to that, let's say if you want to create multiple objects, you can create, let's say, blue color. Now, if you want to write with this pen, you can just say P1 dot write, P2 dot write. If you want to access the values, you can just say directly print the object. And if you want to print the object directly, let's say in your pen class, generate the toString method, right? So what I will do, right click here, source, and I'm going to automatically generate the toStrings method. So now what happened? Let's see the output. Okay, so can you see? I'm able to write the data with the pen 1. I'm able to write the data with the pen 2. For the pen 1, I am printing the object. It is printing with the red color. For pen 2, I am printing the object which is coming with the blue color. So this is something which I am able to print here. Okay, so whenever you want to understand the structure of the class, you have to see the variables. These are, we can say that, the member variables, and this is something which we can say that constructor, and this is something which we can say that member functions. Okay, or we can say that methods. Okay, so and this is something which I can write with the help of the particular Java code. Whenever you want to understand the concept of class and objects, you have to create the class like this, and you have to create the object like this. Okay, I hope guys everyone is able to understand how to work with the concept of class and objects. Okay, Abhishek, I am not going to teach the Java basic, but if you want to create a data structure class like linked list का object अगर आपको बनाना है तो linked list बनाने के लिए class तो बनाना आना चाहिए ना. अगर आपको क्लास बनाना नहीं आता तो लिंक लिस्ट कैसे बनाओगे? You are only aware with how to create the class, but I am dealing with the multiple students who are not aware with the class creation as well. Okay, so I have to take care of everyone, correct? So if you want, you can join after some time. Meanwhile, that DSA will start. Okay, you leave and you come back after some time. So maybe you will be clear with that. Okay, I am following, as I said, I am following the sequence which I am supposed to follow. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear how to create a class, how to create an object, and with the help of that, we can create a bundle of objects. Yeah. Okay, so as we have the list of the topics, guys, let me quickly come back to that which we are about to discuss. So we have discussed the concept of what is Java, how to install JDK, how to install IDE, and now we have also discussed the how to create, like what are the different types of variables that we have, data types we have discussed, classes and objects also we have discussed. Okay, whenever you want to make some kind of conditional execution, so for that we can take the help of if else statements and loops as well. Okay, so I'm giving you just one or two examples so you can understand how to work with the if else conditions. Okay, so for that, let's take one example. Like I'm just trying to create one simple class. Let's say simple if. Okay, okay. Oh, that's my mistake. I just created the project by mistake. Let me delete the same. I was about to create a simple class. Most probably it will go till next 1 hour. Okay. Yeah, Nitish. Okay. So let's proceed with the simple if example. Okay, what we want to do is we want to take some input from the user, and based on that input we want to check something. Okay, so for that, let's say I'm creating one main method. Okay, for this I'm taking a scanner object. Let's say scanner. Okay, let's create the scanner object. ओके स्कैनर ऑब्जेक्ट बना लिया. नाउ यूजर से हम कुछ इनपुट लेंगे एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट वी वांट टू शोकेस समथिंग. ओके, जब वी जस्ट वांटेड टू चेक ए कैंडिडेट इज पास्ड हैज पास्ड द एग्जाम और नॉट. ओके, सो वी आर आस्किंग द यूजर enter your marks. Now based on the student's marks, let's say if the student is entering a mark in a fractions, so we can take the help of float. Let's say marks, and we will take it by using this scanner using the next float function. So we will scan. So first of all, I am trying to scan the user marks, and based on this I want to check if the marks if the marks are greater than or equal to 35, then we will just provide a message, congratulations, you passed. You have passed the exam. And in the else case, I will just provide a message, sorry, you are failed. So this is something if you do. And after completion of this, make sure you close your scanner, because it's a leakage kind of resource, we can say. So when you run this, enter your marks. Let's say I am entering 34. So it is giving me, sorry, you are failed. If I'll run this, let's say I am entering the marks 98, and you can see I got the thing like, okay, you passed. So this is something because of the coverage I am getting. So this is something how guys you can try to write your code. We are just trying to take some input from the user, and based on the user input we can check whether the student has passed the exam or not. Let's say if you want to check two conditions, like sometimes what happen, if the user has entered the marks, like user has entered the marks, and these marks are like we want to see that by mistake user has entered the marks which is more than 100, then also it's invalid. Okay, so in that case you can just say if the marks are greater than or equal to 35, and if the marks is less than or equal to 100, then only you can say that you have passed the exam. Otherwise what happen if somebody will enter my result is 108, that is wrong. So at that time also it should show, sorry, you are failed. So this is something which we can understand while working with the conditions. So single condition direct लिखो, multiple conditions है you can take the help of the operators like and operator or operator, and using that we can do the executions. ओके, सो कभी भी आपको कंडीशनली रेंडर करना है, कुछ कंडीशनली चेक करना है, सो फॉर दैट वी आर टेकिंग द हेल्प ऑफ if else. Now let's say if you want to repeat some process, so for the repeated task we can take the help of loop. So how we will do that? So for that, let's say I'm creating one more class for doing some repetition, like I want to print 1 to 100, or let's say I just wanted to print only the even numbers. Okay, so let's say even numbers. Okay, for that I will just write main method, and the main method I will just say I'm using for loop. Under the loop itself, I will use int I starts from 0 less than, let's say, 100. I want to increase the value by 2. I equals to I, or I can say that I plus equals 2. This is something which you can do, and you can try to print the value of I. So it will start from 0, it will end till 100, and that is going to print only the even numbers. So let's try to run the same and let's see the output. Can you see I'm able to print? Means the same process is repeated more than 50 times. Like 50 times the process is repeated. So you no need to repeat. Automatically this loop is going to repeat the process. Okay. Okay, all good, guys. Till this, whatever the topics which we have covered, I'm not expecting the questions outside of these topics. I have discussed about Java installation part, how to work with the simple class objects, data types, variables, some operators, if else, and looping part. So from this, if you have any question, I will take a pause for 1 or 2 minutes and then we will proceed with our next topic. Okay, you want to print a table of two. That is what you are expecting, Aman? User input I have discussed this, Suraj, using the scanner. You can try to create here also, let's say scanner again, import the scanner, create the object. Okay, let's say new scanner. Okay, and what I'll do is, let's say I want to print, so I'll start from 1 less than or equal to 10 plus plus. Okay, I want to print, like I will ask the user, okay, which table you want to print. Okay, enter any number. Okay, and lastly I will close the scanner as well. Okay, so for this what I will do, I want to print, let's say I want to print the table of this. So for the table of this, what I'll do, let's say I will print first of all the number that is taken by the given by the user. So let's say int num sc dot next int, whatever the number has taken, I will use it here. That number I will print. After that, I will print a symbol of multiplication. Okay. After that, I will print the value of I. Again, I will print the symbol of equal. Again, I will do the multiplication by using num into I. So this is something with the help of that I can print the table of given number. So, if I will enter 7, I am able to print the table of 7. Got it? While declaring the float variable, if we don't write f, yes, it will give error because it is considering that 17.7 as a double. जब आप f लिखते हो तो उससे समझ में आता है कि ये छोटी वैल्यू है. जब आप डायरेक्ट लिखते हो 17.7 means it is considered as a double. So double, we are, if you want to give double, no need to write any f or d. By default the point वाला number is a double. जब आप उसमें f लिखते हो वो उसे कंसीडर करता है फ्लोट. समझे? Okay, so this is something which we can write for even numbers code. Okay, if you want these notes and everything, guys, ये entire जो code मैं आपको करके दिखा रही हूँ, I will push it on GitHub and I will share my GitHub link to the team. So from the team, they will share you the all the created codes to you. Okay. So later on, you can take the reference of all the codes which we have created. Okay, so thanks for your quick responses, everyone. So we are able to complete till this part. Now I'm quickly jumping to the very important topic, that is array. So now we are discussing the concept of data structures. Okay, now array is a very popular data structure that we have. So first of all, I just wanted to talk about DSA. DSA is something which simply we can say that data structures and algorithm. So when we talk about data structures and algorithm, the need, what is the need of using data structure? The need is how the data is getting stored. So you are going to data store, like, okay, if it is a one or two data, you can store it in a variable. But our requirement is, if you have a huge data, how you want to store it? So for that, we have multiple types of data structures we have some data structures which are called linear, or we can say that sequential data structures, जिसमें हम या तो रिवर्स डायरेक्शन में जाते हैं या तो फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन में, मतलब फॉरवर्ड या रिवर्स, फॉरवर्ड या रिवर्स डायरेक्शन में आप जा रहे हो, मतलब सिक्वेंशियली एक्सेस हो रहा है. सो फॉर दैट द डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स दैट वी हैव, दोज आर कॉल्ड लीनियर डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स. और कुछ डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स हमारे पास है, दोज आर वी कैन से दैट ग्राफिकल डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स, जहां पे हम डायग्राम के फॉर्म में डेटा को स्टोर करेंगे. सो फॉर लीनियर डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स आई कैन गिव यू द एग्जांपल्स, लाइक वी हैव array, we have linked list, we have stack, we have queue. These are, we can say that, the linear data structures that we have. Coming to the graphical data structures. So in the graphical data structures, we have like graph tree. Are you aware with the tree? So these are, we can say that, the graph you can create, tree you can create. In the tree, there are the different types of tree you can create. The most popular tree that we are creating, that is the BST, that is called binary search tree. So for doing this, हर एक में डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइप्स के फ्लो है, कि एरे बनाने के लिए व्हाट वी आर यूजिंग, लिंक लिस्ट के लिए व्हाट इज द फ्लो विच वी आर फॉलोइंग, फॉर ग्राफ व्हाट वी आर फॉलोइंग, फॉर ट्री व्हाट वी आर फॉलोइंग. सो बेस्ड ऑन दैट वी आर गोइंग टू फॉलो दैट पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रक्चर, एंड दैट स्ट्रक्चर क्रिएशन फॉलो करने के लिए हम जो लॉजिक लिखते हैं, और वो लॉजिक के बेस पे हमारा कोड इंप्लीमेंट होता है, दैट इज एक्चुअली कॉल्ड अल्गोरिथम. Okay, so to write an array or to write a linked list, we must need to understand that particular structure, that particular algorithm, and based on that, we can start writing the code for the same. Good to go? Great. Okay, so these are the, basically we can say that, two types of data structures we have: sequential data structure and diagrammatical data structure, that we can say that graphical one, जिसमें graph tree which we can create. Okay, so the very first data structure which we need to understand, it's a very popular data structure and it's very interesting as well, that is array is always trying to store the data in a sequential format. Sequential means, simply we can say that, let's say this is my memory. This is my memory locations. Now let's say from 0 to, there are some 2000 locations are divided into the memory. So in that, let's say, suppose this part is already stored, like to 0 to, let's say, I can say that 400. So these memory locations are already occupied. Okay, now let's say if I want to store some data here to here, also some memory locations which are occupied, I can say that from 600 to, let's say, 1500. This part is also occupied. Now I want to store some data, let's say it is near to, uh, let's say 700 bytes. Here if you see that we have a limited gap available. Here if you see that we have also the limited part available. Though if you add this and this, it's more than 700, but we can't divide that. You have to store the data in a sequence. Means if the empty space are there, then only you can store the data. So that is something that you have to follow. Okay, but here if you see, these are the fragments. These fragments are actually, we can say that, external fragments, where we have the space but we can't store the data. The reason behind that is array needs a sequential locations. So if everything is blank, then under that you can try to store the data. Okay, so let's say array is trying to store the data like this. Let's say some locations are there. Let's say I want to store some 20 values. So that is going to store like this. Now it always stores the values from the zero index, index based. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that. Okay, so here let's say I'm trying to store some numbers, and if you want to access, you can directly access based on the index. Let's say this array name is ARR. So if I say ARR 3, so here if I want to get, I will get the value which is 40. If you want to change the value, that also you can change. Let's say ARR 8. Let's say I want to store 90. So 90 is getting stored here. So this is something also you can do. So you can store the value, you can access the value which is stored to these locations. These are the sequential locations, and this is something which we can create with the array. And we are going to create the array that is of fixed size. Fixed size array. Is that clear, everyone? Okay. So for this, how to create the array in Java? Okay, so for working with the array, again I am going to create one another package. Let's say my package name is, okay, and here I am trying to create one code. Let's say new class, let's say array demo. Okay, how to create array? Main method. Under this main method, I am going to, let's say, create array. Let's say integer array. Now array creations, there are multiple ways. Let's say I directly wants to store the value. I can store the value like this: 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So this is the array creation number one. Directly assign the values. The fixed size, the array size is, you can calculate how many elements: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So array size will become 6. So if you want to create this kind of array, you can create like this. If you want to print them, if you try to print the direct array, see what happen. Can you see? It is printing as an object. You can't print the array object. Okay, so how to print the whole array? So if you want to print this whole array, you have to take the help of loop. Let's say starting the index I from 0 less than to its array's length and increment the value of I. So here what I will do, if I want to print this, I will just print the array and its index. So what happened? This loop will iterate. It will take first value, second value, third value, fourth value, and like that it is going to print all the elements one by one. Okay. So if you run this, can you see? So this is something which we can say that iterating array. Okay. If you want to access direct element, you can access like this. Let's say array of index number 4. So you will get the array from the index number 4. So can you see it is giving me 58 last. So you can just try to combine it here. So you can see array at index 4. So when you do this kind of thing, you can easily understand the output. So you can see I am able to create the array. I am able to print the elements of the array. I am able to get the element access directly. So this is the one way of creating array. All good till this? Great. There is another way also that we have for creating the array. So for that, let me create one more class. Let's say array demo number 2. Okay, under this also I am creating a main method. Yeah, let me finish this and after that we will discuss. Okay. I'm just trying to explain you how to create some array without giving any values. So for that I can take, let's say I want to create one array with new, what data type array you want to create. Let's say not integer, you want to create string array, so use string. Okay, new string. Okay, and in that you can give the size of your array. Let's say I want to create an array of 10. So this is something how you can create a array where I can store the 10 strings. Okay, if you want to store 5 strings, you can give 5. If you want to scan the input from the user, you can scan it from the user. If you want to assign manually, you can assign manually. Like let's say one is Sonam. Okay, similar to that. Let's say I want to store some values like Alex, Bob, let's say Kathy, let's say David. So I stored the values, and for again iterating, again I can take the help of the loop starting from 0, go till its length, iterate and print it. So for printing purpose, again I am going to use array of I. So I created the dynamic array, I stored the values, and I am able to print the values. If you want to print it in a opposite direction, like starting from the last, that is also you can do, like starting from the last value. Okay, then you want to say like, okay, I is greater than or equal to 0 and do I minus minus. So this is something also you can do. So you will be able to print from its opposite value, like from the last value you can see I'm able to print David, then Katie, then Bob, then Alex, and then so on. So this is something how you can try to print the values from 0 to last index and from last index to first index. This is also we can do. Are you able to understand? I'm just trying to divide this in the two part. Let's say both the codes I'm showing you here. So together you can see this is the simple array creation, this is the string array creation, both the screens together I am showing you. So you check once. If you have any questions related to this, let me know. I'm waiting for you. We'll discuss for next 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, guys, can you check the code and let me know if you have any questions? We have discussed. This is clear. Okay, thanks. Thanks. How about others? I'm waiting for next more 1 minute and then we will proceed. What more we can do with the array? Yes, collection is actually a big topic. We are not going to discuss everything, but when we will create, yesterday, like tomorrow, when we are going to create an application, I will create the application using collections, linked list or array list, whatever is visible with us, we will take with that, and we will discuss the collection at that time. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now, the next topic which we need to understand is this is the simplest array, but as we have discussed, what is the problem with the array which we are facing? Array is saying I'm going to work with the sequential locations. Means array is expecting, let's say, if I am creating an array with 100 or 200 values, then all the locations needs to be sequential. Sometimes maybe there are some values stored to some different locations, and because of that you don't have that much of space available. So at that time there is a big problem which we are going to face, that is called external fragmentation. And while storing the array elements, every time we are going to get this kind of problem. So if you don't want to get this kind of problem, and if you want to use each and every locations to store your values, for that we are taking the help of the data structure, that is linked list. So how the linked list is going to work? So to work with the linked list, guys, the first thing which you need to understand. Okay, linked list is trying to store the data in a form of node. So node is something like this. One node can have value like let's say 10, and this is something which we can say that address of next element. Means linked list, inside that you can store the data to any location anywhere, but this is going to become a sequence like, okay, first node, second node is having an address of third node. Let's say the third node is here, which is having the address of fourth node. Let's say the fourth node is here, which is having the address of fifth node, like this. And let's say this is the last element. How you will figure out this is the last? Means this is null. If the next node is null, you can consider this is the last node. So this is something which we can say that linked list. This is the simply linked list. Simple single linked list we can say. Linked list also having a more than three types: singly linked list, doubly linked list and circular linked list. So तीन टाइप के लिंक लिस्ट होते हैं. सिंगली लिंक लिस्ट में एक सिंगल डायरेक्शन में एक्सेस होता है, डबली लिंक लिस्ट में दोनों साइड में एक्सेस होता है. सर्कुलर लिंक लिस्ट का कोई एंड नहीं होता, वो कंटिन्यूअसली मूवेबल होता है. Pointers are not there in Java में pointers it's not there. For that we are taking the help of the objects. Yes. Okay, is this clear everyone till this? So लिंक लिस्ट इज बेसिकली सेइंग व्हाट, जो हमारा डेटा है वो कुछ नोड के फॉर्मेट में रहेगा. लेट्स से फर्स्ट नोड. Okay, first node is connected with next node is connected with next node is, let's say, connected with next node, and let's say this is the last node. So the last node is, we can say that, null. फर्स्ट नोड का नाम यूजुअली वी कैन गिव इट एज एन हेड. जो फर्स्ट नोड होता है उसका नाम होता है हेड. जो लास्ट नोड है उसका नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट नल होता है. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी कैन कंसीडर दिस एज एन लास्ट एलिमेंट. दिस इज द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट, this is the last element. सो नाउ यहाँ पे बेनिफिट क्या है, लिंक लिस्ट में अगर आप डेटा स्टोर करते हो तो आप कोई भी लोकेशन से आप डेटा मैनेज कर पाओगे. यू कैन स्टोर योर डेटा एनीवेयर इन योर स्टोरेज. यू डोंट रिक्वायर एनी काइंड ऑफ सिक्वेंशियल स्टोरेज. दैट इज वन बेनिफिट यू विल गेट. और एक चीज का बेनिफिट मैं यहाँ पे बताती हूँ. लेट्स से यू वांट टू डिलीट अ नोड. ये नोड को आपको डिलीट करना है. तो अगर आप इसे डिलीट करोगे तो आपको क्या करना है, इसको इधर लिंक करना है. दैट्स इट. वन शॉट में इट गॉट कंप्लीटेड. So we can say that in linked list, manipulation is easy. So linked list में problem क्या करेगा? Let's understand that. Let's say I'm having a list like this. First, second, third, fourth. If I will ask you, get the element from index 4. How you have to take? First, search for next, get the next, search for next, get the next, search for next. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Means this process you have to go for 5 locations. ओके, यहाँ पे अगर एरे है 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here if I will say, how you will get it? Just give like this and you will get it. So you tell me, डेटा एक्सेस करने के लिए, डायरेक्ट डेटा एक्सेस करने के लिए व्हाट इज गुड, एरे और लिंक लिस्ट? If I want to access the data directly, what is more preferred? एरे. एरे करेक्ट. ओके, अगर डिलीट करना है तो यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम क्या होगा? इफ यू आर डिलीटिंग दिस, ये वाला कोड अगर आप डिलीट करोगे तो सारे एलिमेंट स्विच होंगे. ओके, सो स्विच होंगे. सो दैट इज समथिंग विच वी कैन से दैट प्रॉब्लम होगा ना. सारा डेटा शिफ्ट हो रहा है, शिफ्ट हो रहा है तो टाइम कंज्यूम हो रहा है. तो सिंपली वी कैन से दैट अगर आपको ज्यादा मैनिपुलेशन करना है तो हम क्या यूज करेंगे? लिंक लिस्ट. अगर आपको ज्यादा डेटा में ये करना है, सिंपली वी कैन से दैट स्टोर करना है, रिट्रीव करना है, स्टोर करना है, रिट्रीव करना है. सो फॉर दैट वी विल गो फॉर एरे. स्टोरेज एंड रिट्राइवल के लिए एरे, मैनिपुलेट करना है, मतलब बीच में कोई एलिमेंट को इंसर्ट करना है, या आपको बीच में से कोई एलिमेंट को डिलीट करना है, सो फॉर दैट प्रोसेस वी आर टेकिंग द हेल्प ऑफ लिंक लिस्ट. इज दैट क्लियर एवरीवन? गुड टू गो? So my thing is, simply we can say that whenever you want to do the storing and retrieval, you should use array. Whenever you want to go with manipulation, more insertion, more deletion in between, if you want to do, so for that you can take the help of linked list. Good to go? Now I am just going to give you one simple example for data insertion. Deleting code and iteration code also we can write, but as per the time constraint I am just trying to show you only one, how you can try to store the value under the linked list. So if you want to write a code for the same, simply I can start writing, let's say linked list. So let's say the very first thing which I need to create is, inside this I am creating one static class. Let's say node. And for this, I will take, obviously data store karna hai, then for that I am using int data. Okay, for next value I will use the object of node again only. I will take the help of the constructor. Okay, and in that I will take the value, let's say data. And obviously to assign that I will just say this dot data is equal to this data variable for the data assigning. And obviously the next value I will say this dot next, and I will just say it's null. So this is something how we can try to create a node class just for that one node, that diagram which I have created here, right? So whenever you want to create this node, this is the value and this is the location, address. So the next is what? It's address, and this is something which I said data. And this I have created based on the code. Okay, and I'm mentioning that here. So once this is done, let's start writing the logic for data insertion. Okay, so how to write the logic? So for writing the logic, let's say I have already created this LinkedIn class, so linked list class. So on this linked list class I will take the object, let's say node object, that is the head. So this is, I can say that, starting point. Okay, and here in the constructor, like again if you want to set up the constructor, I can just create a linked list constructor. And when this constructor is getting assigned, I will just say this dot head is equal to null. When the very first time you create an object of linked list, it is going to create a blank object. And now I will write a method, data insertion. For data insertion, I will write a method, let's say public static. Okay, and I will just write a method, let's say insert. Now what you will return from here? So let's say if you are returning the linked list object, you can just say linked list. Okay, and we are taking the object of linked list as well for the insertion. Let's say linked list, and what value you want to insert. Okay, if you don't want to write like this, you can just take the data as well. So it's up to you. There are the multiple ways to do the implementation. Okay, so if you are making this void, so with the help of that also you can try, let's say void, and you can also try to take this object. Okay, simple, just make it void, take the data. Now let's create the object, let's say node, new node. So I will just create a new object using new node. I will pass the data inside the same. So my object is created. And in this new node, again, I will say for this new node, obviously there is no next value, right? So I will say new node dot next is actually null. Okay, now my first question is my list is empty? If the list is empty, this new node I'm going to target to the first point. So what I will do is, let's say if the head is equal to null. Okay, I can just say if this dot head if is equals to null. Okay, then I will say head is equal to new node. Okay, I have just created the static one now. I think let's remove this static. Better. Okay. So you can see I have just created the new node next value. If the head is null, then what I will do? I will directly point the new node to the head. Okay. The next thing is if it is not null. So let's start iterating. Okay, let's start iterating the node. Let's say I will just say while, okay, starting from the first value, like let's say I'm starting from the head pointer, okay, and from the head, if it is I can do something like this also. Let's say starting from the head, let's say node, which is the last value, that is my head. I will start from the head. I will reach to this. Let's say if the last dot next, if there is no next value, if it is not null, okay, till that time I will iterate. From the first value go to the next until it reaches to the null, because you will get that last pointer. Okay, so I will say my last value is, every time I will say the last dot next until you reach to its next value. Once you reach to the last value, what you do is, let's insert the new node to the last location. So what you need to do is, you just need to say last dot next is equal to new node. So what I did is, I will just simply try to explain you with the diagram so you can understand. I just, let's say I'm having the array like this. Okay, like this. So when there is no element, you will directly assign that to the head. But let's say there are some already elements are there. So how you will do that? Okay, start from first, go to the next, go to the next, go to the next. When you reach to this is considered as a last. What I will do, from this last I will point the new node. So my new node is getting assigned here. So this pointer got updated. This is the new value and the new node last is null. Got it? So this is the simple way, using that you can do the data insertion. यहाँ पे what is the logic which we have implemented? We have implemented, जो भी नया element आप push करोगे वो उसके last में ही जाएगा. Okay, we are not trying to push the element in between. So this is the very simple linked list which I have created. We are just trying to inject the values to the last element. अगर कोई नहीं होगा तो it will create the first one head, otherwise it will go to the last and it will print the last. Correct? And here if I want to print, I can just try to give you one example. Let's say public void and then print. Let's say I want to print the list. So for this printing purpose, I can start like this. Let's say node, let's say the current node. So what I will do, start from the head. Head is going to become the current node. And then I will try to iterate, let's say, until the current node is not equals to null. Until it not reaches to the null, we will try to print the next element like that. So how I will access? Let's say the current node dot data, and I will just say current node. I will change. How to change it? By its next value dot next. So starting from the first value, go to the next, and print the last value. So this is something which we can do for the printing purpose. How to use this linked list? So if you want to use this linked list, let's create the object in the main method. So whenever you want, you can just try to create an object of the linked list class which we have created. Okay, use the new list, and simply I can try to say list dot insert. Let's say 10. Okay, list dot insert. Let's say 20. List dot insert. Let's say 30. Okay, and I will just say list dot print, and it is going to print. And if you run this, can you see? I am able to insert the data in my linked list, and I am able to iterate my linked list as well. Okay, so this is the simple process of doing the data insertion in the linked list and access. So let's say if you are creating like this, starting from the head, access the head data, go to the next, access the data, go to the next, access the data, go to the next. How many times you want to repeat this process until it reaches to this null value? Once it reaches to null, the printing process will get completed. So this is something how you can do the linked list implementation. So we have completed array, we have completed linked list. What is the difference between them? Array is used for the sequential locations, linked list is used for random locations. Using array, the data storage and the data retrieval will become easy. Using linked list, the data manipulation become easy. So it's up to you. Faster storage, faster retrieval, go for array. Memory management, if you want to do more manipulations, if you want to do, then you can go for linked list. Is that clear? Yeah, insert method has to, no, I have taken one argument right now only. The two arguments I need if I am trying to implement that with the static logic. So I just removed that static logic. I have just taken only one argument, not two. See, what I am doing is simple. In the insert, what I am doing, do like this. Okay, let's say I want to insert 10. So it will create like this. Okay, node is created, and this is going to become the head for the very first time. Second time when I am saying I want to add one more node, so it is checking. The head is empty. No, there is no head is empty. Means this already it is there. So it will take the second element, and from this it is making the pointer. And from that this is connected. Okay, third time when I say I want to insert 30, so it will create a new node. This is going to become a new node, and that is going to pointer here. For printing purpose, starting from these as in current, access, this is considered the current next, current dot next. Access 20, current dot next. Access 30, when it reaches to null, the loop is getting terminated. Simple. Got it? Yeah. So I think this is something which I have executed line by line only. If you see the code, you can understand. Create the new node, check. If it is a not, if it is a null, then make it head. If it is not null, then starting from the first value, go to the next, go to the last element. Once it reaches to the last, assign that to the new node. So this is the flow. For printing purpose, starting from the head, go until it becomes null. Access the value, assign the next value until it reaches to the null, it will iterate, and then the while loop is getting terminated. Simple. Deepak, I think you can see the code, you can understand it. Okay. So now the next thing which I wanted to explain you is searching algorithm and sorting algorithm. When you talk about the search is very simple. Let's go with the linear search. Let's say I am having the elements like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. If I will ask you, do you, I want to search the element number 5. How I will see? I will check. 1 is 5, no. 2 is 5, no. 3 is 5, no. 4 is 5, no. 5 is 5, yes. Match, done. This is completed. This is simply called linear search. एक 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 करके मूव करना है, एलिमेंट को कंपेयर करना है, फाइंड आउट, एंड इफ यू आर एबल टू गेट दिस, सिंपली वी कैन से दैट element found. If you reaches at the last and still you are not able to get it, you can simply say that element not found. So this is the linear search algorithm. Now simply you can say that linear search may you are trying to compare the elements, each element. So let's say if you have n elements, the complexity is proportional to n. Means let's say you have 100 elements, how many comparison can happen? How many comparison can happen? It is going to compare 100 times. So the complexity is proportional to n. So the linear search is comparing the element n times. This is simply we can calculate the complexity. If you are not getting the output, I am going to share this code. You can later on compare with my code and your code and you can find out what is the issue. So n comparisons. So linear search is simply saying if you have n elements, n times the comparison is going to execute. So simply we can say that the complexity, let's say, how about if you have 10,000 elements? So for 10,000 elements, if you are searching the element, if it is getting for the very first level, this is we can say that base case. If you are getting the element in between, we can say that it's a medium case. But if you go till the last element, last tak jane ke baad, you are not able to find out the element even. After doing the 10,000 comparisons, at last you got the message, element not found. That is simply we can say that worst case. So linear search algorithm is simply we are going to use only where you have a limited number of elements. If you have 10 elements and if you want to do the search, we can go for linear search. And if you have 1,000 elements, 10,000 elements, 20,000 elements, then you should not go with the linear search. For that, we have some other search algorithms like binary search and all. But right now, we are discussing linear search. So linear search is good for limited elements. If you have huge data, then it is not suggested to go with the linear search. Clear with the concept, clear with the complexity calculation. Next, let's understand sorting. Sorting means sort the data either in the ascending order or descending order. So we have so many algorithms while working with the sorting: bubble sort, selection sort, merge sort, quick sort. Okay. So there are so many sorting algorithms. From that, let's discuss about the bubble sort. This is very simple logic. Let's say I'm having a array 1, 5, 3, 7, 10, 25, or let's say 2, 9, something like this we have. Okay. So you just see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have total 7 elements. From the 7 elements, from the 7 elements, how many passes are going to execute? So the n is going to execute 7 minus 1 means the pass is like actually it is going to do pass is equal to 7 minus 1 means 6 pass. What happens with the first pass? Let's understand. Okay, pass 1. It will take the first element, compare with the second. First element compare with the second. 1 and 5. Obviously, 5 is larger than 1, no replacement will happen. But 5 is going to compare with 3. So 3 is larger, so there is a replacement happen here. 3, 5. When you compare 5 with 7, it will come as it is. When you compare 7 with 10, it will come as it is. But see, when you compare 10 with 2, 2 will come first and then 10. And when you compare 10 with 9, so 9 is getting replaced with 10. So when this is going to execute for the very first pass, if you see 10 came to its correct position. Last element on its correct position. Same thing happened to the pass number 2. Comparison. Again this 2, this 2, this 2. So see 1, 3 as it is, 5 as it is, 7 and 2 the replacement will happen. 7 and 9 nothing will happen. And the second pass, see last 2 are on the correct position. Last 2 on correct position. Third time, pass number 3. Again the comparison happens. 1, 3, 5 and 2 will get replaced. 7, 9, 10. Third pass, last 3 on the correct position. Are you able to understand? Okay. Then last pass number 4. Comparison happens 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 10. Last 4 elements on its correct position. Pass number 5. Again it will check this 3. Comparison happens. And last 5 elements will come to its correct position. Again also the pass number 6 will happen. And now all the elements are on this correct position. So this is something happens in the bubble shot algorithm. Now, if you see after the pass 4, the data is already sorted, but still the comparisons are getting executed. Though there is no replacements are happening, but every time the comparisons are happening. So when you try to calculate the complexity of this, the comparisons happens loop inside loop. For every time pass and under that comparison. So pass comparison, element comparison. So pass comparison n times, element comparison n times, n into n square. So the complexity for bubble shot algorithm is n square. For the worst case, if the data is already sorted, then also you have to compare every time. So if you have a limited set of data, then only it is suggested for the bubble shot algorithm. So linear searching algorithm and bubble shorting algorithm, both are the good if you are going to use for the limited set of data. If you are using for huge amount of data, it is not suggested. Good to go. So this is how the algorithm is getting executed. Okay, so n pass means every time you have to compare the n number of passes, and under that you are going to compare the elements, first element with second element. If you are comparing if it is smaller or larger, according to that you have to do the swapping. So this is how, guys, you can do the comparisons, you can do the swapping, and you can try to write the logic for this. So I have already shown you, like we have discussed, how to write the logic for bubble shot, how to write the logic for linear algorithm. Linear search is very simple. From array, take one value in the loop and try to compare. If it is found, print found. If not found, then print not found. So try to write the logic for the same. And if still you are not getting that, just let me know in our tomorrow's session. We will try to discuss that code as well. Good to go? Great. Okay, so we try to complete till the module 3. I hope, guys, you are able to understand the concepts, fundamentals. We also try to calculate the complexity as well, like what is the complexity for linear search, complexity of this, simply we can say that bubble shot algorithm. So I hope you are able to understand how to calculate the complexity, how it is working, and the algorithm concepts as well. So that's it from my side for today. Thank you so much, everyone.